History tells us that World War II was won with tanks, planes, and soldiers. The history is wrong. The most important battles were not fought on the fields of Europe, but in secret chambers with rituals, symbols, and blood. While Adolf Hitler delivered his speeches to the masses, a different kind of power was being cultivated in the shadows of the Third Reich. A circle of occultists, led by enigmatic young women, were seeking a power far older than any army, a force that promised not just victory, but transcendence, a force not of this world. This video will expose the true secret war, a battle of sorcery and forbidden science that culminated in an unholy alliance and the creation of a weapon that could have changed the fate of humanity. If you want to know the history that was deliberately erased from the books, subscribe now and join the quest. To understand the secret war, we must understand its high priest, Heinrich Himmler. For him, the war was merely a physical manifestation of a spiritual crusade. His vision was guided by a mysterious figure, Karl Maria Willigut, a man who claimed to be the last descendant of an ancient line of Germanic sages. It was Willigut who whispered forgotten rituals into Himmler's ear, who designed the cryptic, runic symbols of the SS, turning a political army into a magical order. Their Camelot was the Wielsberg Castle, a fortress Himmler began rebuilding in 1934. He poured millions of Reichsmarks into its renovation, not for defense, but for ceremony. In the basement, he built a vaulted ritual chamber, a hall of pillars where his 12 most senior officers, his new knights, would meet in contemplation. In the great hall above, the floor was adorned with a dark sun mosaic, a symbol of their black star. This was the heart of their new religion, a place of immense, dark energy. From this dark heart, Himmler sent his tendrils across the globe. The Ahnenerbe, founded in 1935, became his personal band of occult explorers. We know for a fact they went to Tibet, searching for the origins of the Aryan race. We know they hunted the Spear of Destiny. This was not a side project. For Himmler, it was everything. He believed victory could only be achieved by seizing control of the levers of magic itself. He was gathering the keys, but he knew the ultimate source of power lay elsewhere. That source was being nurtured in the bohemian and politically charged atmosphere of post-World War I Munich. Amidst the chaos and spiritual hunger, secret societies thrived. The most influential was the Thule Society, a group of aristocrats and intellectuals obsessed with Aryan supremacy and ancient myths. They would become the seedbed of a Nazi party. But hidden within Thule was a mystical inner circle, a group so secret even most Thule members didn't know existed. This was the Vril Society, founded around 1919. Its core was a coven of mediums led by the magnetic Maria Orsic. Maria and her Vril Maddles, including her trusted second, Sigrun, were a stark contrast to the men of Thule. They claimed their long hair acted as cosmic antennae, allowing them to communicate with the fundamental forces of the universe. They were not nationalists. They were cosmic escapists. They believed humanity was a failed experiment, and their destiny was not to rule the earth, but to leave it. They sought to harness the primal energy of Vril, to build an interstellar craft and journey to their ancestral home, a planet orbiting the star Aldebaran, 65 light-years away. For that, they needed a map. They needed to make contact. Their seances were not simple table-rapping affairs. They were grueling rituals of deep trance and automatic writing. Then, in a series of sessions between 1922 and 1924, the channel was finally opened. But what came through was not a benevolent ancestor or a simple spirit. It was a consciousness, or a group of them, that felt cold, ancient, and utterly alien. The transmissions were not in German. They came through as a torrent of geometric images, and in two languages. One, a strange pictographic script they didn't recognize, and the other, a language that was later identified as Ancient Sumerian, linking these supposed aliens to the Anunnaki myths of Mesopotamia. Maria had to seek help from other occultists, including the founders of the Thule Society, to even begin deciphering the messages. The deciphered text contained a bombshell, the technical specifications for Genseat's Flug machine, a fly machine for the other side. The principles were unlike any known physics, based on implosion and the manipulation of gravitational fields. The first prototypes, crude and small, were allegedly built in secret workshops in Munich. The Vril Society now held a key given to them by a silent, ancient intelligence from the stars. When the Nazi Party took power, the Vril's esoteric project was subsumed by Himmler's occult crusade. The strange science from Aldebaran was now a state secret of the highest importance. But to turn these mystical diagrams into a weapon, they needed a man without soul or scruple. They found him in SS General Hans Kammler. Kammler was a master engineer of death, the man who designed the gas chambers of Auschwitz. He was given absolute authority over all of Germany's most secret weapons programs. He took the Vril concepts to a vast, underground complex known as Project Reese, built with slave labor in the Owl Mountains in Silesia. There, in a heavily guarded facility known as the Wenceslas Mine, the ultimate techno-magic weapon was forged. Die Glock, the bell. Leaked accounts from Polish and Czech witnesses described a horrifying device made of heavy, hard metal, over 4 meters tall. When activated with a mysterious reddish liquid known as Zerum 525, it would emit a pale blue light and a low hum that sounded like a million bees. During tests, it allegedly created a zone of death in a 200-meter radius. Plants would decompose to a greasy slime. Animals would die, their blood jellified. The scientists working on it suffered from vertigo, metallic taste, and many died of cancers. It was a machine that consumed life to warp reality. March 1945. The Third Reich was in its death throes. Berlin was about to fall. In this apocalyptic chaos, Maria Orsic sent a final, coded message to the Vril members from a guest house in Berchtesgaden. It simply read, "Nyman Blight here. Nobody stays here." After that message, all records of Maria Orsic, Sigrun, and the Vril Madel cease. They vanished from history. Weeks later, General Hans Kammler, one of the most wanted men in the collapsing Reich, disobeyed a direct order from Hitler to report to Berlin. He too vanished. Along with him went Die Glock and the entire team of scientists working on it. Did the final activation of the bell work as intended? Was it a gateway? Did Maria and her followers board a final, functional Vril saucer, hidden in a secret hangar, and begin their long journey home to Aldebaran? Did Kammler use a machine to escape justice, perhaps into another time or dimension? The official history has no answers. It only shows a void, an entire cabal of occultists, their alien knowledge, and their reality-bending machine all gone, as if they were just a dream, a terrifying dream, whose echo still haunts us.